Get ready, Genoa City fans, for a week that will twist fates, test loyalties, and introduce powerful new players who are set to turn the town upside down. The aftermath of recent revelations continues to send shockwaves through every corner of society, leaving our favorite characters vulnerable, vengeful, and desperate. As one family tries to heal, a new threat emerges from the shadows, targeting their most fragile member. Meanwhile, a crumbling marriage reaches its breaking point, leading to a plea that could change everything. Buckle up for a gripping week of drama, danger, and deception. Claire's new beginning shattered by a sinister presence. Claire Grace, finally embraced by the Newman family, is doing her absolute best to step into the light. With Cole and Victoria's unwavering support, she's begun to believe in a future free from the ghost of her great-aunt, Eve Howard. She's settling into her new role at Newman Enterprises, cautiously building bridges, and even sharing tentative laughs with her grandparents. However, just as she allows herself a sliver of hope, a chilling presence descends, threatening to plunge her back into the darkness. It starts subtly, a feeling of being watched that she dismisses as paranoia. A flower delivery with no card arrives at the ranch, its black petals unsettling her. A familiar, haunting melody, a lullaby Eve used to sing, faintly plays from an unknown source when she's alone in her suite. Claire tries to brush it off, attributing it to the lingering trauma of her past, not wanting to worry Victoria or appear ungrateful for her new life. But the incidents quickly escalate. This week, the haunting becomes undeniable. She receives a series of vintage, black and white photographs at the office. They are candid shots of her, leaving crimson lights, walking through the park, even looking out the window of the ranch. The photos are not menacing in themselves, but their anonymous nature and the precision with which they were taken are a clear violation. The final straw comes when she finds a single, antique music box on her desk at Newman Enterprises. When she lifts the lid, it plays that same, haunting lullaby. Terrified, Claire confides in Cole, who immediately goes into protector mode. He and Victoria are convinced this is the work of a remnant of Eve's network, someone seeking revenge or trying to reclaim Claire for their twisted cause. Victor, upon hearing the news, mobilizes his security team, his face a mask of cold fury. He will not let anyone threaten his newly found granddaughter. The tension culminates in a late-night scene at the ranch. Claire, unable to sleep, sees a shadowy figure standing at the edge of the property, barely visible in the moonlight. It's a fleeting glimpse, but it's enough to confirm her worst fears. She is being stalked. This isn't just a message, it's a personal, psychological war. The Newman family will close ranks, but the question remains, who is this mysterious stalker, and what do they truly want with Claire? The answer will reveal a connection to the past more terrifying than anyone could have imagined. Kyle's last stand, a desperate plea to Audra. While the Newmans battle external threats, the Abbott mansion is a war zone of a different kind. Kyle Abbott's world is in freefall. His sure thing, power play with Jack and Diane backfired spectacularly, leaving him not only professionally humiliated but also personally isolated. Harrison is his sole anchor, but even that connection feels strained under the weight of his crumbling marriage. Tucker McCall, ever the opportunist, slithers into the void left by Kyle's failure. He presents Kyle with a tantalizing but dangerous offer, a high-level, well-compensated position at Glissade, with the implicit promise of helping him build his own empire, independent of Jabot. It's a seductive offer for a man whose pride has been shattered, but Kyle knows it would mean burning his last bridge with his family. Torn between his ambition and his love for his son, Kyle makes a final, desperate play to salvage his life. He tracks down Audra Charles, who has been keeping a calculated distance since their alliance fell apart. He finds her at the Grand Phoenix, cool, collected, and seemingly unmoved by his turmoil. What follows is one of the most raw and emotional scenes of the week. Kyle, stripped of his usual arrogance, lays his soul bare. He doesn't just ask for her help, he begs. Audra, please, he implores, his voice thick with emotion. I have nothing left. I've lost my standing at Jabot, I'm losing my son, and I am about to lose my mind. You're the only one who understands the game. You're the only one who isn't looking at me with pity or disappointment. He appeals to their shared history and their mutual understanding of what it means to be an outsider clawing their way to the top. He proposes a new, more sincere alliance. Not one based on manipulation, but on genuine partnership. He needs her strategic mind and her unwavering nerve to find a path forward that doesn't force him to become Tucker's pawn. Audra listens, her expression unreadable. She's wary of his desperation, knowing it makes him unpredictable. Yet, she also sees the potent combination of his Abbott name and his newfound recklessness. A vulnerable Kyle Abbott could be a more powerful weapon than a confident one. Her decision will hinge on a cold calculation. Is saving Kyle Abbott a smarter long-term investment than watching him fall? Her answer will dictate the future of both their careers and send shockwaves through the corporate landscape of Genoa City. Meet the new faces, 3 strangers set to redefine Genoa City. This week also marks the arrival of 3 intriguing new characters, each entering the scene with their own secrets and agendas. First, we meet Dr. Alastair Pembroke, a brilliant and charismatic British psychologist in his late 40s. Hired by an anonymous benefactor, leading to immediate speculation about Victor's involvement, Alastair is brought in to help Claire work through her complex trauma. With a calm demeanor and an almost uncanny ability to read people, he quickly earns Claire's trust. However, his methods are unconventional, and he seems unusually interested in the broader dynamics of the Newman family. Is he truly there to heal, or is he a master manipulator with his own connection to the stalker's game? His presence will challenge not only Claire but every member of the inner circle he encounters. Next, stepping into the corporate fray is Sasha Miller, a sharp, ambitious, and fiercely competitive venture capitalist in her early 30s. She arrives in Genoa City to evaluate a major investment opportunity, putting both Chancellor Winters and Jabot on high alert. Sasha is all business, polished, precise, and immune to charm offensives. She immediately locks horns with Lily Winters, recognizing a fellow powerhouse, and her interest in Billy Abbott's media division raises eyebrows. Sasha isn't here to make friends. She's here to identify weakness and exploit it for profit. Her arrival will force both companies to up their game, and her personal entanglements could create dangerous new alliances. Finally, a face from the past arrives, causing a stir at the Genoa City Athletic Club. Cruz Rodriguez, a ruggedly handsome and morally gray private security expert in his mid-30s, is hired by an unknown client for a high-stakes protection detail. With a military background and a reputation for getting results by any means necessary. Monday, Claire receives the first anonymous photograph, while Kyle is confronted by a furious Jack about his meeting with Tucker. Tuesday, Victoria and Cole discover the music box, sending them into a panic. Kyle makes his desperate plea to Audra in a charged, emotional confrontation. Wednesday, Victor hires Dr. Alastair Pembroke, much to Nikki's suspicion. Sasha Miller lays out her tough terms to Lily and Devon. Thursday, Claire sees the stalker, leading to a lockdown at the ranch. Cruz Rodriguez has a tense first meeting with Nick Newman at the GCAC. Friday, in a stunning cliffhanger, Dr. Pembroke reveals a shocking insight into the stalker's psychology, pointing the finger at someone much closer to home than anyone suspected. Don't miss a moment of the explosive drama as new alliances form in fire and old families fight for their very survival. The Young and the Restless is about to prove that in Genoa City, the past is never truly dead, it's just waiting in the shadows to strike. The Young and the Restless, YNR, spoilers hint that Nick Newman, Joshua Morrow, delayed heading out to Los Angeles with Sharon Newman, Sharon Case, for their trip to see Noah Newman, Lucas Adams. So could this delay the chic reunion some fans have been waiting for? Nick and Sharon's rekindled romance has been a slow burn. They kissed months ago, and not much has happened since. Nick is apprehensive about the whole thing ruining the awesome friendship and co-parenting relationship they have, while Sharon would jump in at a moment's notice if given the opportunity. YNR spoilers remind fans that Noah's going through something difficult, and his parents simply want to check up on him. With that said, during the week of October 13th, Noah will land into some kidnapping danger, which is when Matt Cohen's Detective Burrows character will debut. Burrows is slated to first appear on the Thursday, October 16th episode, and it sounds like he'll help Sharon and Nick locate their adult son. While a lot can happen between now and then, what if Noah gets kidnapped before Nick arrives in LA? Nick was on the fence about joining Sharon during the October 9th episode, but as Newman Media just published that piece on Kane Ashby, Billy Flynn, all hands were on deck to ensure Kane didn't strike back. Adam Newman, Mark Grossman, advised Nick to stay put, and his brother agreed. If Sharon is alone in LA and something happens to Noah, she may be the first one to interact with Burrows. Will sparks fly between the two? Sharon's a strong woman, but the detective swooping in and helping her during an emotional time, like Noah going missing, may be enough of a situation for the two to bond. There's a small chance Sharon hops into bed with Burrows, as this is a soap opera. However, simply getting to know someone, feeling an attraction, and leaning on the only person available to lean on could be enough for Sharon to catch feelings for Burrows. Nick will eventually get to Los Angeles, especially in light of Noah's disappearance, but there could be a delay that lasts for days, for whatever reason. Will Detective Burrows place a massive snag in the Sharon and Nick reunion? The Young and the Restless spoilers suggest Sharon and Nick hitting yet another stumbling block on their road to happily ever after will add a nice layer of drama and anticipation for Chic fans who've been on the edge of their seat to see their faves finally come together. CDL offers the spiciest Young and the Restless updates, spoilers, and news, so visit regularly to get your fill on all things YNR. The Young and the Restless, YNR, spoilers suggest that while Jack Abbott is a busy bee in the land of Genoa City, so is his portrayer, Peter Bergman, who is also juggling a ton of different balls, as the actor is stepping outside the soap opera world, joining the cast of the sci-fi series, Pluribus. The show airs on Apple TV+, and is slated to debut on Friday, November 7th. The first 2 episodes will be released simultaneously, and the rest of the 9-show season will drop every Friday until December 26th. Pluribus takes place in Albuquerque, New Mexico, and centers around a mysterious virus that is spreading across the United States. The illness makes people continuously happy, and only one individual is immune, an author who is troubled by the name of Carol Sturka, Rhea Seehorn. Bergman is profiled in the series trailer as a figure from the White House who talks to Carol via a C-SPAN type call. While Bergman's tone does sound calm, there's something a little off about his voice and demeanor. Others in the cast of Pluribus include Carolina Widra, who plays Zoja, Carlos Manuel Vesca in the role of Manussos, and Miriam Shore as Helen, just to name a few. While it doesn't appear that Bergman is leaving his role as Jack Abbott anytime soon, it'll be interesting to see him in this new genre. Bergman's acting roots lay in daytime drama, where he first played Cliff Warner on All My Children from 1979 to 1989, and then moved to the YNR later in 1989 to become the Jack Abbott recast, taking over from Terry Lester. Bergman has been nominated over 20 times for a Daytime Emmy in the category of lead actor for his role as Jack on the YNR, including in 2025. He's won the award 4 times during his career. The Young and the Restless spoilers hint that Jack is currently involved in an interesting storyline where he's partnered up with longtime rival Victor Newman, Eric Braeden, but in typical fashion, both men have their eyes on stabbing each other in the back. CDL has the hottest Young and the Restless updates, spoilers, and news, so swing by, get comfy, and enjoy all the YNR information you need. The Young and the Restless, YNR, spoilers for Tuesday, October 14th, imply that Kyle Abbott, Michael Mealer, will make a shady move, while Jill Abbott, Jess Walton, decides on something major where Billy Abbott, Jason Thompson, is concerned, and new character Sienna Bacall, Tamara Braun, debuts. Kyle was rejected by yet another Newman woman, this time Victoria Newman Amelia Heinley, during the October 13th episode, when he asked Claire Newman's, Haley Aaron, mom for her daughter's address in Los Angeles on Monday's show. It was a hard no from Vicky. The mom expressed Claire's need for space. However, it sounds like Kyle will do something sketchy to get his way, so he can head down to Los Angeles and win Claire back. Is someone going to tell him that it'll never happen if he goes through with this plan? Speaking of LA, fans will see Sienna in her glory as a bar owner of a hot spot in Hollywood. Sienna will interact with old friend Holden Novak, Nathan Owens, as he enjoys Vespers with his new friend Claire. Things will get awkward when Sienna brings up Audra Charles's Zuleika Silver, name as Holden's ex-girlfriend. So here's hoping that he and Claire can get back on track with having fun on their little getaway. Still, what will Claire and Y&R fans think of Sienna? Finally, Jill will make a massive decision that affects her relationship with Billy. This begs the question, what relationship? Billy has disowned her and doesn't even refer to her as mom anymore. Jill is desperate to rekindle their mother-son connection. So, what's the big choice she makes? The Young and the Restless spoilers suggest there's a good chance that Jill decides to give up on Billy altogether, but it's so hard to think that the mama bear would do something like that. However, she always does have Kane Ashby, Billy Flynn, as backup plan son if Billy never comes around.